तो दिस रिकॉर्डिंग तो जो तू रिकॉर्डिंग कर रहा है अभी यूट्यूब पे जाएगा ना? चलेगा।
वेट, यूट्यूब पे जाने वाला है?
अभी नहीं। नवीश असिस्टेंट मतलब कौन हो सकता है? रोमन भी हो सकता है। मतलब ऐसे प्रैंक करने आया हो उस अकाउंट से, क्या पता? देख लो, 24 घंटे है तुम लोग के पास ये ट्यूटोरियल फॉलो करने के लिए, 24 घंटे।
कर सकते
मेटा स्पार्क कल बंद।
हाँ ना। अरे मज़ा तो तब आएगा जब लेंस स्टूडियो बंद होएगा।
क्या? मैं यही खबर सुन के मैं मेटा स्पार्क छोड़ के लेंस स्टूडियो में गया था।
हाँ, हाँ। देख तू रिकॉर्ड नहीं होने वाला, सिर्फ मैं ही रिकॉर्ड होने वाला हूँ। अरे रे! संजय गुप्ता हैज़ रेज़्ड अ हैंड। बोलो संजय जी।
भाई गलती से दब गया।
एक खबर सुनकर बेटा हाँ भाई। और अभी न्यूज़ आई कि मेटास्पार्क को वापस कंटिन्यू कर रहे हैं तो
फिर सही।
या तो देखना पड़ेगा। एक्चुअली मेटा स्पार्क भी सबसे ज्यादा व्यूज आने में, क्योंकि इंस्टाग्राम पे बहुत लोग हैं।
तू आ यूट्यूब पे आ तू आ यूट्यूब पे।
यूट्यूब पे
नवीन
कौन सा यार है?
Hi. Hello, hello. Hey, hey, Kash. Hey, Krunal. Hey, Hardik. Wow. How am I feeling? Oh my God. It's a very tough question to answer today, at least. I don't know, the entire day I was in a very nostalgic feeling. I was almost like going to a funeral today, I feel like.
कृणाल एक बार ग्रुप पे मैसेज डाल देना कि बहुत लोग मुझे मैसेज कर रहे हैं कि मीट का लिंक किधर है, तो उनको बस मैसेज कर दे ग्रुप पे कि मीट का लिंक ईमेल में आ गया है तुम लोग को। चलेगा। चलेगा चलेगा। डन।
Oh, I see the cool mask is there in the background. Is your printer also?
Yeah, I had to just stop this print midway because it was too noisy for the print. I was making this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, where is it? Where are you making?
It was actually supposed to be a vase, but now this is a katori.
Okay. Right.
So I'm like learning to use this transparent filament material.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The latest version, which was released 3 months ago.
3 महीने पहले मेटास्पर्क डाउनलोड किया और कल बंद हो रहा है। नो, जब मैंने जस्ट भारत एक्सर ज्वाइन किया था जब ये खबर आई थी।
Let's wait for like more 2-3 minutes and wait. 2-3 minutes, 2-3 minutes. Who knows? Probably US time it will be, no? 14th Jan, in US 15th for us, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't say any time though. It just said closing on 14th Jan. So I hope they take it like seriously. 11:59. It would be crazy if they approve some facts tomorrow.
I don't think so they'll do it immediately, but I have talked to a few people. They are like, once Instagram will lose its filters, even I don't have a reason to use Instagram. Like many of my friends use Instagram for the filters only. So it will once maybe for user retention they might bring it back, but definitely not for the developers. Yeah,
Yeah. And they're
it is
hosted on like
promoting
some of
those. Yeah,
and they're hosted on like some of the pages, either creators or Instagram or like
yeah,
something like this. So, and I also noticed something like I don't know. I recently noticed I was on a WhatsApp call, video call, and there was like video filters, like color filters there.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you're trying yourself, like okay.
Instagram has got like 20.
Yeah, because I think this is one of the questions in the FAQs, like what if you're partners with Metaspark and then are you still able to collaborate with the brand internally? And they clearly said no, it's either handled by probably Metaspark team, and they don't have a team which makes effects. So the motivation is definitely shifting towards like glasses and making content there.
And I had similar conversations with the client. They were like, "Oh, can we extend the date by 1 or 2 days?" And I'm like, it's not in my hands. I cannot do anything.
So by tomorrow night it will be shut down.
Uh, Most of us are unclear about the exact
तो उसके पहले ही सारे स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो भाई, कितने थे कितने नहीं.
screenshot मत लो. I think so. Metaspark group पे एक tutorial डाला है. Someone named v.ww.v करके. उससे
हाँ.
you can download all the stats of all of your effects in one click.
अच्छा.
Yeah, yeah. So with
फेसबुक पे
one
है क्या?
click, you can download all the filters.
यार कृणाल ग्रुप में डाल दोगे क्या लिंक?
चलेगा,
अरे
मैं अभी डाल देता हूँ.
डाल
हाँ
दिया है वैसे, डाल दिया है.
हाँ. What about YouTube, Akash?
I cannot talk much about that right now.
You
थोड़ा
mean YouTube का जो यार होता है?
थोड़ा हिडन
Yeah.
सीक्रेट तो प्लीज कर दो यार, तो पता चले वहां पे रेडी हो जाए हम लोग.
YouTube
नहीं,
के यार
YouTube
सबके लिए नहीं.
currently in closed beta right now. So once they open up, of course they will share the news with you. Even I am not like knowledgeable on that part.
YouTube सबके लिए नहीं है.
नहीं, YouTube currently has a closed beta group in which they have selected a handful of creators just to test out a few features. But apart from that, nothing much. Okay, hey everyone. Let's begin with this tutorial. And in this tutorial, when Krunal told me that Naveen is coming, I was very happy because my AR journey began with Naveen because I became a part of AR community through him because I saw his filters, I saw his work, and I was very inspired by it. So I thought, why not make the last tutorial of one of Naveen's filters? So today we are going to make the Dodecagon filter. So the people who do not know what that is, I'll just show it to you.
Yes, yes.
So I'll just share my screen quickly.
Yeah, let's do that. I think that would be fun to, yeah. Yeah.
See my screen. So first I'll just search what is that. Okay, first. So those who do not know what Dodecagon is, I'll just play the video of what we are going to recreate, or I am trying to attempt to recreate. So this effect was made by Naveen and it went very viral. And today I'm going to make this. So this is the video of it, and you can see what the whole effect is about. You can draw patterns and stuff on a triangle, and then this turns into a whole Rangoli kind of thing. And I think we are going to get started right now. I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So let's begin with the sharing effect. And if you have any questions, please stop me, pause me, and let me know. Okay. So I'll just adjust the screen right now. So as we saw in the video, it all began with a timer. So let's begin with the timer first. And for the timer, it's very easy actually. Let's go to the AR library, go to assets and search for timer. And we have a SDF circle timer over here. Let's import this. We have the SDF circle timer. We'll create the patch editor, drag and drop this here. And we need this to begin with screen tap, or you could do it with recording also. But for the purpose of this tutorial, let's go with screen tap. So, So once screen tap is done, this will begin to play, and let's set the duration of, let's say, 3 seconds. And now this should go to somewhere, right? So let's quickly add a plane to the scene. So this is our plane. Let's add a material. I'm setting the material shader type to flat, and let's give it this texture. So this is what it looks like. And let's say if I simulate a touch, this is what will happen. Okay. And for this, I think so. Initially, I would like it to be transparent. So I just changed the alpha channel from 255 to 0. So if I restart it, this should by default be actually uh, what do we say, transparent, but it is not. So what we'll stick to is do a little shady thing. We'll make it black only. And once we tap it, it's becoming like this. So let's set the blend mode to screen. So by default, it will be transparent, but when we tap, this is what happens. So once this is done, we will need a triangle front of us, right? So let's add a triangle. For a triangle, let's add SDF.
Yeah, Akash, yeah,
And
how did you make it transparent?
I just changed the blend mode to screen. So whatever is black will become transparent.
Okay.
If you want to do it in another way, you could also use some camera projection and put it in here. But this is like a easy way out. So a triangle will have 3 sides. And to see what we are doing, I'm going to add a shader render pass. We are going to use this patch a lot. So it's quite blurry as you can see. So let's add a step. Okay, nice. So now we need to put it in the screen. So let's go to focal distance, add object, add a plane. Now we need to fill this screen with this, right? So I'll go to the AR library, go to the patch assets and search for fit. And I'll get the thing of fit to screen. So we'll be using this patch. I'll import this right now and just dragging and dropping it here. And let's have this plane scale over here. And we'll also name things. So the first one will be the timer. The second plane is a triangle. And we'll drag and drop the device patch here and we'll input the screen size. So now as you can see, if I change the screen ratios, this is always fitting the screen. But this will bring a problem for us later, which I'll show to you. So we had the triangle, we had the triangle texture. Let's create a new material for this and make it flat. And let's give this the texture. So now this is in one direction. We do not need this direction. We need it to be pointing downwards. And in this polygon, we do not have the rotation option. So we'll do a texture transform. So let's search 2D transform pack and texture transform. We have done this. And take this step and put it in the texture and put this in the material. So currently nothing is happening because I have not changed the rotation from here. But let's say if I put it to minus 90, so it becomes like this. So 90. Okay. So now we have the triangle and this is the basic setup. So now we need to consider the UI of Instagram. So there'll be the recording button on the top. There'll be the buttons on the side. There'll be the flash and camera and the gear icon on the top. So we do not need this to be so down and we need to move its position. So let's do that. And it's also too wide also, I think. So
Yeah, question.
mhm.
We can't put a UI in this projection like we did in Lens Studio.
I am not that well versed with Lens Studio to be honest, so I do not know how to answer that. If you can reiterate the question, maybe I'll be able to help you out. What do you mean by UI? Like you mean to simulate the safe
Me-
area?
Meaning, meaning like in Lens Studio, what happened in the preview only we can see the UI. As a result, we can adjust it.
Yeah, so that is called safe areas. And let's say I do this, so this will give you a
Yeah.
rough area where you should not place your things, but it does not put the icons properly. So you can see it is trying to put the camera in this thing, but because I'm using a resizable window, it is messing it up. But if I try to use a device preset, maybe it won't. Yeah, so it's still messed up only. So yeah, you can use this as a reference, but this is too distracting for me, so I'll hide it for now. Okay, so we have this over here, and the next thing that we need is the drawing part. So as we saw in the video, we were drawing our nose, right? And for that, we'll be using the face tracking. So let's go to focal distance, right click, and add a face tracker. I'm dragging and dropping this over here, and we'll get the 3D position. So let's go to focal distance, add object, let's add a plane. And for this plane, let's add a circle because we need to cut out a circle from the triangle. So let's do it. SDF circle and step, put the radius to be 0.1 maybe. And I'm adding a new material to it, and the material will have this circle texture. So yeah, we have this over here. Now I need to put this circle on my face. So how do we do that? We'll just have this plane and we'll have its position go from here to here. So you might say that why didn't I just put the plane inside of the face tracker and get it tracked? But the reason for that is that sometimes the face tracking is not so good. It's a little jittery, especially on Android phones. It lags sometimes. So we'll be putting a smoothing on the position of it. So for that, let's go to the AR library. Let's go to the patch assets and let's search for smooth. And we get the smooth vector 3 patch over here. So let's import this. To take the 3D position, and as you can see, this is moving it to the back side. So that is because my face is on the back and this is in the focal distance. Plus, if I move back or forth, this will change its scale. We do not actually want that. So what we'll do, we'll bring it from the world coordinates into the screen coordinates. To do that, let's just search for screen. So world to screen position. So another screen position will be a 2D vector. This reads as a vector 3. So let's again bring it from the screen to the world. So see that this directly puts it at the camera. Uh, so this is giving it a focal distance. So before it was going completely back, now it is going completely in front. So let's remove this. Let's make this 0. So for this, I'll use a swizzle. So swizzle and this X, Y, and Z. So this takes the X position, Y position, and instead of the Z position, this will give us a 0. So as you can see, this is going completely in the opposite direction. And if I switch to the back camera, this is properly doing the thing. So we need to make the logic for front camera and the back camera. We'll do that later. Let's work with the back camera right now. So now you can see when I'm moving my face, this is smoothly following me. And there is a little lag you might see, but that is because of the smoothing. If I want to increase the lag, I can do that, but there's no sense of that. So this is the position. I think so. The circle is a little big for my taste, but you can adjust it according to you. Just keep it at 0.075. Okay, this looks good. So now we have the triangle also, and we have the circle also. And now what we need to do, we need to draw on the triangle. So what we'll do, let's add a scene render pass. So what this will do is that whatever object we put into this will just render that part. It won't render any other object over here. So let's rename this to the circle, dragging and dropping the circle and connecting it to the scene object over here. So here you can see that except for the circle, everything else is black. So that's what we want because we are going to draw with this. To draw with this, I'm going to use the delay frame patch. So frame, let's make a receiver and the circle because I'm adding the previous frame to the current frames. So if I want to begin drawing, I can multiply by 0, so it will be blank. And when I want to stop the drawing, which I'm done by drawing this line, I can just remove this and this will be saved as it is forever. So we can add a multiply patch over here. So let's do that. Currently I'll keep it to just 1. So when it is at 1, I can draw with my nose, and when it goes to 0, the drawing stops. Okay, so the drawing part is done. How do I put it on the triangle? So for that, we'll again use a scene render pass. And with this, we can draw. So what we need to do, subtract this part from this part, right? So let's add a subtract. So from this, we're going to subtract this, and let's see what do we get. So with this, you can see that we can draw on the triangle, right? And yeah, so yeah, I can draw with my nose on this triangle. Now let's give it some color because to be honest, it looks pretty bland and black. So let's multiply this with color. I think so. I need to refer what Naveen has done. Okay, so there's like a gradient going on, and we'll also give it a gradient. So let's add a gradient and vertical gradient. So goes top to bottom, and let's add another gradient step. So what this will do, this will give it the color. So gradient and the output over here. So now what color do we want to give this? Let's say I want to give it red to maybe this purple. And for now, I'll hide this circle and the triangle to show you what is going on. You do not have to follow this step. This is just for you to understand. So I'll just click on the render pass over here. And you can see we have this gradient on which we are able to draw. Okay, so we have the base of the effect ready. I think so. If you have any questions, you want me to repeat something, please do let me know. But this recording will be there on YouTube, so you can follow that also. I don't think so. You will follow it. You have only 24 hours to execute this.
If someone follows now, I will like they should get a special certification for that.
We'll send them some 3D printed swags or something.
Oh wow. चलो तो फिर अभी चैलेंज हो गया.
Hey. Okay, we'll do that. Chalo, challenge accepted. Okay, so I'm adding a null object in the scene right now, and I'm bringing the triangle and the circle that is on my nose. I'm selecting both of them together and dragging them down in the null object. So I'll just turn off the null object right now so that the scene is clear. And so now we have made this triangle on which we can draw. So let's bring that into the scene. Okay. So I'll rename this null object to as invisible so that I know I need to keep this turned off. And I'll add an object, I'll add a plane. And with this plane, we'll do the same thing. We need to fit it to the screen. Plane and I'll have the scale over here, fitting the screen. Now let's quickly check if what we have made works or not. Create a new material. I'm making the shader type as flat, give it a texture. Okay, so somehow it is not working. So I think so this is because we are subtracting not only the RGB but also the alpha channel. So it's just showing us over here, but it's not rendering it towards here. So to cross check this, okay, so this works, but this does not. So I'll just add a swizzle. One, one, RGB becomes one. And we are just transferring the thing. But you can also put Y or Z over here. So either of them works. So let's see if this works. Okay, this works. Nice. And I don't think so. We need this shader render pass over here anymore. So let's back on. You can see the basic part of the shape is done. And I just quickly clean up the patches a little bit.
प्रांजल की याद आ गई.
Okay, so those who do not know, Pranjal is an very experienced AI creator and his patches and his work is very neat and clean. Unlike mine, I just make things and even 2 years later I know where I've kept what patch without naming anything. Like you can see with my materials also, it's material 0, 1, 2, 3, but I know what it is, and 6 months later also I know what it is. But Pranjal is a person who organizes everything, and I keep trolling him by sending him screenshots of my very bad patches. So, good enough for my standards. Okay, so now you can see that this is completely opaque and we need to have some transparency because the user's face is completely hidden. So we can change the opacity from here, material 3. So we can change the opacity from here, but we cannot control it from over here because it does not have a receiver patch. So let's go to the AR library, go to patch assets and search for opacity. Click on the first patch and import for free. Can control the opacity through the patch now. So I did not actually really need to use this patch. Like what it does is it simply just changes the alpha value of it, and that's it. It's a very simple patch, but I'm lazy, so why not? So once we have something,
भैया वॉइस नहीं आ रही है.
I'm not
आकाश तेरा वॉइस का थोड़ा हो रहा है.
Okay.
By
Audible,
but
right?
no, no, I'm just saying. By the way, इसके बाद it will be interesting to see how like Naveen reacts to this whole development because it's one of his effects which I also got inspired and started my Spark AI journey from it. So it would be like due to the Dodecagon, I connected with Roman, I connected with Naveen. That was my first interaction with Naveen. So it's very interesting to see how he reacts to this whole development.
I see some like, some that was the- Okay, so we have this over here, and now what we need to do is make it small, and also we need to push it up. But one issue that you might foresee is that, let's say if I make this a resizable window, this is what happens. So you might say, what is the problem with that? I can still draw on the triangle. But when we multiply it, the angle of the triangle is changing, right? And we do not want that. We want this angle to be about 36 degrees so that we'll have 10 of these to complete a proper circle. I think so 36 into 10, 360. Yeah, so 36. Uh, yeah, so let's try fixing that. Uh, but before that, we need to pivot this at this point, right? So how do we do that? So let's create a new object. I'll create a null object over here and I'll press F on my keyboard so it will just focus on it. It's focusing on the wrong side, by the way. This is what it should focus on, but okay. So I'll hide the plane for now and make the invisible visible. And I'll try to move this null object to be the origin of this triangle. 0.1499. What the origin of this null object is right now. And now I'll make the invisible visible and we'll make the plane visible again. So this point has the null object. Okay. And we'll drag and drop this plane into the null object. So what this does, once I have the null object over here, I can rotate this at the point, right? So we can like multiply it, duplicate it, animate it, do whatever you want to do. So let's try doing that. We'll have to duplicate the null object, and this plane scale is coming from here. So we'll also have to give this plane the same scale. Let's rotate this by 36 degrees. Yeah. So we have rotated this by 36 degrees, and you can see at these corners it is overlapping. To make it more obvious, you can see this part. This is overlapping. We do not want that. This will, and this is overlapping because of the screen resolution. If I change the resolution, the overlapping will change. So to fix that, and to do that, basically what we need to do is that make this triangle independent of the screen scale. So what I will do is that let's create a pack. The scale is always 1, so let's keep it at 1, and let's swizzle the height. So the triangle's size won't be dependent on its width, it will be only be dependent on the height of the screen. So for the height, we will take the y scale. Let's put it in here, and we'll have to make the x dependent on the y. So to do that, let's add a multiply. Perfect triangle. So 0.5. Okay, no. 0.52, 53, 55, 56. Okay, we are getting close. 56. 5. Okay, so this is pretty perfect. I think so. I can see there's a little overlapping. So 5, 6, 3, 5. Okay, yeah, good enough. So we have this angle thing sorted out. So now let's say if I change the resolution of the screen, the angle between these triangles will remain the same always. So I think so. I We have a now good idea of what the main logic of the effect is. All we need to do is make it smaller and bring it up. So let's make this an iPhone 13 and do that. So I'll be referring to this video again and again because I'm trying to copy. Okay. Okay. So initially it is transparent, and once it opens up, its opacity is 100%. And we'll do the same thing then. So initially we'll keep its transparency at 100%, and then we will animate this opacity, right? So we have the objects. We need 10 of these. So we can duplicate that, and I'll move this patch over here. So we'll be having 10 of these planes, and we'll be animating 10 of these null objects. So we have 10 of these, and let's quickly attach these planes scale to this fit to screen. One efficient way to do this would be to just search for plane 0 and then have all of them together. If you want, you could also select all of them and have the scale on top of each other. For example, if I select this and this and this, okay, one second, this and this and this, and select the scale, so it will have all of these scales at once. I prefer doing it one by one. Okay, so we have this. Let's make all of these visible also. So null objects. Okay, so let's animate this. Let's add an animation. And once the animation happens, we need this to open up, right? So this needs to go by 360 degrees. So 0 degrees, 36 degrees, 72 degrees, and so on. So the multiple of 36. So we'll add a transition. So this goes from 0 to 36, and then we'll simply just multiply this by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. But if you want to do it in a more elegant way, you could also do it like 0 to minus 36 minus 72. So it opens up on both sides. Uh, but it's upon you on how you want to open the flower up. So I want it to open up in like a spiralized way. But I think so in Naveen's video, he has opened up in the both sides. Let's quickly add a multiply. I'm very eager to see what Naveen will say on this because I have no idea how he has made this effect. So multiply by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I don't think so we need to multiply it by 10 because 360 will be again same as 0. So the first one should be at 0 only. So let's keep this one at 0. And we need to rotate all of these. So selecting this, and I'll just select all of these null objects and have its rotation connected over here. So I don't think so the order of it matters right now. I think so all that matters right now is that initially only one of them should be visible and later all of them should be visible. So let's connect all of these patches. Okay, so once we are done, let's first see if this works or not. So I'll add a pulse for now. And okay, so this is how this works out. So it looks pretty nice to me. I think so the linear curve is a little bland. So let's try adding some different curves. So I'll just search for ease curves and look at this chart. So what this does is that it tries to ramp up the speed according to the transformation we are giving it. So currently we are at linear, which is like a straight line, but I think so something which will be a little smoother will be much better. So I think so ease out sign looks like a smooth curve, or ease out circle also looks like a smooth curve, but I think the initial part is a little jerky. So let's go with ease out sign for now and check how does it look. So sign out and let's restart this. I'm drawing something and then yeah, so this opens up a little more smoothly. Okay, so once we are done with this, you can see this is all a mess and this is too big and we need to make this all small. So rather than making all of these small and then changing the position of all of these, I'll just add all of these inside one null object. So add to focal distance, add a null object. Let's rename this as main. And inside of this main null object, I think so it will be wise to give it the same offset though. So let's give it the same offset as the other null. It does not make much difference visually, but I think so for your ease, you know that the origin of this main object is the same of this smaller objects. So I'm just dragging and dropping this in the main one. Nice. Save it. So keep saving your projects and I'll just make the size as 0.5, let's say 0.5, 0.5. So yeah, you can see that this has become small and now I can move it upwards also and I can continue drawing on this. I think so 0.5 is not a very good uh, scale for this. Okay, so I have changed the scale of all of these, unfortunately. So I'll redo this. So 1 by 1 by 1, and we'll just change the scale of the main. So 0.5, 0.5, and 0.5. The Z 0.5 does not matter. I think this is too big, so let's make it 0.35 maybe. Okay, this looks much better. So 0.35 by 0.35 makes it fit in the screen much better. Okay, so all that is left to do is animate this whole thing. So what we have done is made the timer also. We have made the drawing part also. All we need to do is connect all of these pieces together, right? So the how does the timer work? When we tap on the screen, this timer begins, right? So let's connect everything to the timer. Our timer. This is our timer. We are given it a duration of 3 seconds. Let's make it 2 seconds. Let's also add an instruction of tap to begin. So without that, the user will be lost. How does the effect begin, right? So let's give it a conditional instruction, and the instruction will be tap to play. Where did it add the instruction? Okay, so tap is over here. Let's select tap to play. So this should show when the tap is not been done, right? So let's add a switch, and so when this gesture turns on, this should turn off. So let's add a not. So once someone is beginning the effect, they will see this tap to play instruction, and once they tap, the instruction will go away and this timer will play, right? And once this timer plays, it stays on the screen forever, right? For example, the timer is over and it's staying there forever. But I don't want that. Plus, it's going in this direction, which is anti-clockwise. I want it to go clockwise. So I'll just do a silly thing and make this rotate by 180 degrees. Okay, no. And now it does not show. So make it double-sided. Yeah. So once I tap, this timer begins. And once this is over, I want this to fade out, right? So, and I want this to happen only once. So let's go to the AR library, go to the patches, and I'll search for once, and I'll get the once patch. This is also a very simple patch, but I like to use the AR library for its convenience. So you get the pulse, and then we add a delay. So delay of 2 seconds, right? So after 2 seconds, the timer is over. So we'll add a delay of 2. Let's add a opacity. So we need to change the opacity of this. We need this to fade out, right? Let's add an animation. So after 2 seconds of tapping, this animation will play for a duration of, let's say, 0.5 seconds. And this goes from 0 to 1. We need to go from 1 to 0. So let's add a transition. But in this case, you could also go with subtract. So both of them do the same thing. So once you subtract 0 from 1, you get 1. But once you subtract 1 from 1, you get 0. So you could use subtract or transition. I'll use transition for your ease of use because most of you use animation and transitions together. So we'll begin with 1 and end with 0 and have the opacity control by here. So once I tap, this timer will play, then it will fade out. And then we can have this main thing begin, right? So we need the animation not to begin immediately. We need this to be at 1 initially. So let's make the scale 1 and 1, and also the position to be 0 and 0. This was initially the same as this. So these null objects are at 0.15, and this should also be at 0.15 and should be negative. So this is where it should be initially, and then it should move up and scale down. You know. So let's add that part over here itself. Let's add the transition for the position of this, and this will begin at minus 0.15, and let's see where it ends up. Okay, so once this is done, what we saw was we have the triangle, but its opacity was very less. It was like about 50%. So we'll connect the opacity from here. So once this animation is completed, we'll have the other animation play. And in the original Dodecagon, you'll see what happens.
I think your voice is cut off.
And okay, uh, am I audible right now?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So what Naveen has done, he has given a timer on top. But what, we can also give a timer on top, but I think so we can also give a 1, 2, 3 also on top. But I won't give a timer because it does not go with my aesthetics. So we have this, and initially I'll keep the opacity of this at, let's say, 0.5. But still you can see it is completely opaque. Why? That is because all of these null objects are visible, right? So whatever I'm doing is getting multiplied by 10. So 0.5 into 10, it's still like 500%. But if I keep it at 0.1, it will be like a little transparent. So this looks nice. So the initial transparency should be 0.1 or lower. I can also get away with 0.2. So it's kind of transparent, but 0.1 looks nice. But once I'm done drawing with this, it should go back to 1. So 0.1 should turn to 1. So we'll make a transition for that. Transition number begin with 0.1, end with 1. So when should this turn to 1? After, let's say, a set amount of time. You know? So once your timer is over, this should come from the top. So let's animate that. Let's add an animation. Let's add a transition, and this should drop from the top. So this should end at minus 0.15, and let's say if it has 0, no, it's too much in the screen. How much top do we need it to be? Okay, so it needs to be around 0.3. So let's add 0.3. So the start position is 0.3 and the end position is 0.15. Let's make this sign out. So once I tap the screen, the timer will play, and then this will drop down, and then I can draw. So once this drop downs, only after that I should be able to draw, right? So if this is equals to 1, then this should be 1. So I'll add a if patch to make this logic. So if this is true, then that will be 1. So here mostly Pranjal would have used a sender receiver patch. but this is not Pranjal session, so okay. So let's restart. So this is what happens. This drops down and then we begin drawing. So now we can give it a timer of, let's say, 5 seconds. So after 5 seconds, this should not happen, right? So after 5 seconds, we need to make this 0 again. So let's add a animation. We'll make it the same as this. So this part is the same, but after 5 seconds, so we'll give it a delay of 5 seconds, this will reverse. So what will happen? Okay, 1 second. Okay, so tap to play, the timer began, this came down. I have 5 seconds to draw a pattern, and after 5 seconds, I cannot draw. So once these 5 seconds are over, then we can begin our animation. So this delay of 5 seconds will go over to this animation, which will open this up, and this will also move this. So let's keep it at 0 for now and make the mains position go from minus 0.5 to 0. So tap to play, timer began. I have 5 seconds to draw, and this open up. Okay, so now this open up, we need to also change the opacity. So we'll go to the opacity patch, which is over here. And we'll also scale this down a little bit. So we had scaled this down to around 0.35. And I think so we can also move it a little up. So let's say 0.15 or 0.1. This seems good. And for this scale, and we'll also give it a bounce out. We'll change the scale of this because this is very big right now. So we'll add a transition of this. We'll also give it a bounce out. So it will like bounce a little bit. So the start position, the starting scale will be 1 and the ending scale will be, let's say, 0.35, 0.35. So this is what the end scale will be. And let's see how the experience is. So the timer begins. This pattern I'm able to draw. And here's the Dodecagon effect complete. And yeah, I think so this was it for today's tutorial. And I hope you like it, guys. And I think so Naveen will give me good feedback on what could have done better.
I think this is so good. Like I was able to follow what you were doing and like pretty easily. And I think within I not only just made it but also taught people. So this is the
Yes.
quickest way. I think I probably spent a week on it, figuring out bits and pieces.
Same, Navin, same. I was like, I was so fascinated to see, like, just under 1 hour, he completed the whole thing. And I was figuring it out like for weeks. I was like contacting Roman. Hey, did you see that in Insta effect? जिसमें वो ऐसा ऐसा आता है? Who made that? Who made that? You made that? He's like, Naveen made that. And I was like, Naveen, please tell me the approach, no?
Uh,
This was also like my first time making it, to be honest. So I was figuring out with you guys. But I think so. Naveen must have made it much better way because he took his time and made it more efficient.
No, I think you've done it quite efficiently. I think, let's say, I would say this is like a goal-oriented stuff. So instead of finding fancy approaches to do things, what works the easiest is the less time, and you get the output quite the same. And then so yeah, it's like pretty nice techniques that you've used. I really like it. For the scaling also, I really like the way you used it. I had some other methods. I learned the formula of polygon, like you can actually calculate a length of side of a polygon, like what is the length of each side in a triangle. So I had calculated that to be able to make the sides always consistent. So I would pass that to an SDF
Okay.
initially, so that would never change. So that saved me creating most of the null objects. The only thing I did with the null object was guys hiding them and positioning them with the same method that we applied, like multiplying them.
Okay.
Yeah, I can show you my setup. I just opened effect in the background. It's
Yes,
pretty
yes, sure.
complex than what you did. Okay.
This is feeling like a life coming to full circle.
For me, surely. Like I never imagined like I will be giving a tutorial in which Naveen would be a part of.
Oh yeah, this is so good. Yeah, I mean, I was able to just recollect all of the things that I did around it, and I was working with Goa at the time, I guess, or approaching to. Yeah. Then they said, okay, what are you making? So Boone had also made a flavor of it, but in a different way. And then he also appreciated the approach because when I did it, I took a different approach than he did also. But he did for Chinese New Year and all. And then I think now that everybody approaches to any concept can have like a different approach to certain things. So mostly my delivery approach was very different. I think this is what I notably did was like, how do you prepare polygon with a particular radius, and then if you know that number of sides you have. So I made a dodecagon. What you made here was a decagon because you use 10 sides.
Yes.
Dodecagon will have 12 sides. So 12
Oh,
sides, and it
okay. I
will.
misread it to be honest.
It's
So the
okay.
angle between them is instead of 36 degrees, 30 degrees.
30-degree, yeah, that's the only change. Yeah. So
Okay.
it will calculate the size, and then it will calculate the boundary also. So if I had to put a boundary over it, this is how it would work. This boundary I got from because of this formula easily. It will always cover this no matter what the screen size is. And
Okay.
then, yeah. So yeah, it kind of doesn't work here rightly, but it works all right in the phone somehow, I think,
Yes.
probably. What I did different was I had a starter block made because every time I would choose a circle, I had like different colors on it. On
Yeah,
the
yeah. You have
timer,
used like three color palettes in it now.
so randomly it will pick up some color. So I wanted consistency in the timer and also in whatever the triangle I used. So I had made like two separate blocks for the triangles also for all those. So I made this block which is very similar to what you. Okay, this is the one that I was following just now. But yeah, I think very similar to like it has a null object inside there's another null object and planes, and they all have this like very messy setup of what should be the size of each, and then yeah, controlling the visibility. And I'd also done this that since the pattern is if you alternate the pattern between the first triangle and the second triangle, they will form a pattern in themselves which is connected. So because the first triangle is inverted to the second one, then they will form a connected pattern.
Understood.
So every alternate, I kind of rotated them, the texture, like kind of flipped it every second, every adjacent one. So that got sort of like connected pattern, created a connected pattern. Yeah, like pretty much else was like same. My render pass setup was pretty complex at the time. I was just like learning how to use it. I have like I had first calculated the alpha, and then so I think it took more time to me to figure this out at that time. I think right now, like did calculate the alpha, then pass that alpha, and then use delay frame again and again because after drawing, I took this snapshot. What you
Okay.
did was I think a little different, a little smart also. This one delay frame and could use the texture multiple times. What I had used was like 3 delay frames I mean, 4 wireframes to do that. So, but yeah, eventually the end output is the same. Um, so that's a pretty smart move, I guess.
I was
Um,
like initially trying to recreate everything, but now like I was checking the time again and again. I was like, okay, so if I create each and every detail that you added, then this will become a 2 hour tutorial. So I just like concised it a little bit.
yeah, I actually followed your tutorial. I was able to follow until this point. This is what I followed what you were doing.
Yeah.
So I followed until this point, and after that, like, kind of like become too messy. Yeah.
To be honest, I
Thanks.
just miss you people talking so passionately about these things. Because I was seeing Akash and he was like, this karte, this karte. He was like so fluent with this whole flow, right? If you see, he was like, इधर से इधर करना, इधर से ये करना, इधर से ये करना, and done. So I was like, Akash, when will I see this version of you again? But
Soon,
I
soon.
think
Bro.
YouTube.
YouTube and in
Right.
studio. I'm giving my time to camera kit rather than in studio, to be
Wow,
honest.
nice.
Okay. Well, thanks so much, Alex. It's so great. I learned like a couple of stuff, how to optimize the process. Pretty nice. In an hour, you had like the entire thing done. Um, yeah. Thanks for sharing this. I really like it.
Thank you for inspiring us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think one way or the other, everybody, each of us has inspired us to do something or the other. But like this was really one of my like closest to my heart also because of this, I got a lot of visibility around the world, in the community, and also like I think it's almost like you put up a plant and there's a tree comes out of it and there's like a lot of fruit. So I ate those fruits like for like let's say 3 4 years because of this Dodecagon.
Even I
So
was a little greedy at that point. I was like, should I recreate this and make my version of it and publish it? But then I was like, this is not my idea. So I was like, I never made it only. So this was like one of those moments in which I can see this is a viral filter. So should I get hop on the virality train and get myself more impressions, or like do my own thing? And I'm glad I stuck to my own thing, and I am very happy with the path I took. But I think so. I need to do this a little more so that I get efficient in creating what others have created, because I get to learn a lot more from others than I do by myself alone.
yeah, yourself, your journey is pretty inspiring. I mean, I remember Akash for the entire journey, all right? So the moment you start noticing Akash is somebody's reporting bugs in the platform, and like not only is reporting bugs, he's just like finding hacks out of it. I don't know guys, like I don't have this update in my Metaspark where you can right click and you can have like a safe area inside in the simulator, but he has, okay.
To be honest,
That-
Naveen, this is off record, but
No, this
initially,
is being recorded. This is being recorded. No,
but still, I
no.
want to say we will cut it down when we put it on YouTube. So to be honest, before like initially, what Akash told me, he's going to teach how to hack Metaspark Studio and unlock all internal dev features. I was like,
I tell you, they don't care. They don't care at the moment.
but that would have been a super fun one. Like he was just hacking out of the whole software. Like, yeah, see ML features, these features, everything is there.
Yeah,
Everybody in the
the
Metaspark.
version that I showed you right now, it has all those features. I had just hidden them.
See, but yeah, like we have like a lot of folks over here, and like
Yeah,
if
please share
everyone like
your
anyone
thoughts,
would like to
journey. Yes,
share
definitely.
what Metaspark meant to them and how their like journey started. Because I see Shivani was also here. Shivani used to take creator days workshops, right? So that was like one of the things which like from women's perspective, I was like, oh, Shivani is like one of those women from India who is doing very good in this Metaspark. Spark यार. Now I'm going to say Spark यार only. बस हो गया Metaspark.
Relax studio बोल
But
रहे
yeah.
हो.
But yeah, like if anyone you want to like share your journeys, it would be like very like I would love to hear those.
Hey, hi, Krunal, this is Shweta.
Hi Shweta.
Guys, I'm seeing you in first time in online. Otherwise, we were in a community only. Saying, hey Naveen, I'm seeing you also in here also as a part of here. So nice to see you all, guys. Like and Naveen, we are very fan of your that Dodecagon, and I really now we got the secrets, the recipes.
Oh, thank you. Thank
And
you.
and I like the shower of holy. Remember, you put the shower, rain shower, and you used to clean the holies. That was a very amazing that effect. I still remember you created with someone of official, so that was very interesting. So
Yeah, thank you. Those for a brand called Ruhe India.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Ruhe. That time holy, like you were putting some like holy, and then after the shower, and then your face got cleaned. So that was very
Yeah.
different. I was very curious to learn that also because how you did it. So I was seeing your tutorial, and I got how you had done it. So that was very amazing, and seeing you all guys, yeah, like after a long time.
Yeah, I remember Shweta saying like name that was always active in the community, but we didn't have interaction to
Me,
like till the end of the Metaspark. I like what an occasion to finally interact.
Me too. Also, I never be thought like I'll get interact with you, Krunal. Like everything about Meta Spark your community and all where bugs, sometimes projects, sometimes everything
Yeah,
And Dan Moller, he used to do many new version comes out and hackathon,
quick tips. Yep,
hackathon.
hackathons, challenges. It was
Every we were all
beautiful
busy.
part.
But Naveen and Vidhi, like all were like we got really inspired. Like I still remember I was doing hobby, like hackathons going on. I was in that, but I did not thought I would be in business. I'll be have my own clients and brands, and that I never thought about it. So it's really different journey from hobby to the business client was something different. Now Sparky AI is going so. Hey, don't go. My client is there. Money is coming. So now, but yeah, nothing's permanent. Everything is temporary. So let's see what's next. YouTube is there, like Snapchat is there, Lil Studio is there, and then. But guys, I love you. Guys, we are seeing you online.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would be here. It's community only. So
Where,
yeah,
where are you based off, Shweta?
I'm in Pune.
Acha, hey, you're very near to Mumbai. Yeah? Like
Yeah.
people are coming from Chennai and like
Surat.
Surat.
Surat to come to our meetups. You could have come. Like we could have joined one of our
Yeah.
Don't worry.
in-person meetups.
Don't worry. Everything Meta's gone. I have to come. That's
What?
Otherwise, I would be
I don't know.
here.
I should be thankful. Like there's a mixed emotion now. Like what? Because Meta is shutting down, you will finally come. Aisa.
Yeah, that's what I know. Kavin, I know everyone. Like your Peggy, they always in an interaction group. I remember Akash used to be in my he used to help me in the some realities projects. So I said, okay,
Yeah.
I'll do myself. I'll do it myself. But thanks. But I'll thank you, Jitesh. Last moment में आया था तो पता है कि no, you don't have to do this texture and all this. I go, okay, fine, I'll do that. But I was crying what? It's going to close down? How will I tell my client? And I thought, oh my God, my client will be going to eating me up. But finally, my client got agreed and everything got perfect and everything is fine. But I felt bad, yeah, like it's going.
Yeah.
But
Like
Yeah.
hey,
It's very
Naveen,
emotional.
yeah, Naveen, I got a secret of recipe. Now I'll do it with other software.
Yeah, nice. I think this is a secret recipe of Akash. This is what he is like, probably it's very different. But now, yeah, you can do it in an hour and post it and get it approved also by tomorrow.
Yeah. And if you win, Akash has promised you a 3D printed swag. So uh, let's see. But yeah, like it's actually very emotional because I remember mine also. Like I came from Unity,
Okay.
and the very first exposure was one of the meetups only,
Yeah.
which was taking place at the local college, like KJ Sumaya. Okay,
Yeah.
I was still in college, and I saw like that workshop for the first time, and I came from Unity where I was technically coding and like scripting all the stuff, and I saw that trainer teach like drag and drop patch editor logic and stuff. I was like, "ये क्या चिंदीगिरी है?" Like literally, that was my first thought. Ki, what is this? Like how? Like what is this silly thing, right? And
it
I,
was the
I
opposite for me.
yeah,
Because I come from an arts background. So I've done mass media and I've done my expertise in advertisement. I know nothing about coding. So
yeah.
Metaspark was my starting point because it did not have any coding. So I'm very fluent with patches, and that's why is my camera hang?
Yes.
Yep. I was like, what's happening? Like you were speaking and whoop,
Okay, I think so. My
delay
phone
frame.
camera died. No, no. So because this was like a no coding thing, that's why I got into AR, and that's how I got introduced to it. And I'm actually pretty fluent in like visual coding. So through that, I like also went into music production, DaVinci
Wow.
Resolve. So any platform which has got no coding and is like patch or node based, it's like I already know the software at this point, and that is all thanks to Metaspark only.
I think I never got a chance to be like as fluent in patch editor because I, to be honest, I didn't accept it truly from my heart. I was still finding ways to like plug in scripts and programming stuff inside. If you have also seen, like I was trying to get scripts running and do that. So I think I missed my chance to get as expert as you in this field. But
YouTube coming.
but yeah, like it was very emotional. I loved like I proved my like I got wrong. Like I felt like when I was thinking if Spark and everything is very chindi thing, right?
Yeah.
I love कि मैं wrong prove हुआ वहाँ पे because I saw the potential. Because if you're developing on WebXR also Unity also, you have like weeks of development time. Like you have to learn that software, you have to learn all of those things, and then you have to publish it, and then also you are not guaranteed that how many users will use it. With Metaspark, I got a ready-made platform of millions of users, like Instagram, like everyone is there. My friends, my family, each and everyone is there. And Jitesh, like one of our like recent interview with Snap also correctly mentioned, Jitesh, he this AR itself, it's like a way of connecting people, right? So that was a very profound like my insight when I started advocating about social AI, like there's no end. So that was like you're getting to test out your effects and your ideas in just matter of hours because you can create like effect in 2 to 3 days or a week maximum, and you will get to test it out with millions and millions of users. So yeah, like it was my go-to tool to be honest. कुछ भी ऐसा कुछ भी नया idea आता था, I was like कि चलो Metaspark खोलते हैं. Let's build something and let's test it out. Like let's put on stories. तो मजा आता था, but
No worries. We'll find a hack for that also soon.
Yeah, I was just hoping that Akash will find something that he can still run effects because I used to make my presentation in Metaspark. Like I've never used like Photoshop and whatnot. Like I had like coding background always when I came to this. It's the first time I'm seeing like what RGBA is. I'm like never been into making the most editing that I was done with probably Snapseed or like those effects, color effects and whatnot. But this was like pretty much new, learning something, even seeing a 3D angle. I never had opened Blender or anything, but it really like pivoted the journey into all such tools. I like I would love to recap a bit, what happened related to Spark in like past couple of years. I think obviously I got introduced to this tool, made so many friends, especially this community. I mean, we started as like someone on the internet and to getting into calls and late night problem solving and actually brainstorming on ideas, whatnot, right? We made stickers to talk to, like there are like stickers, and if I do something and somebody will click like a bad angle, even if not a bad angle, they'll find a bad angle, they'll put a text on it, and that is used in text chat to actually depict an emotion and like दो रुपए दूंगा. This is amazing. I actually stuck with me every time, and I still use that. And now, not only with the community, I actually use it in my family group. So much fun. I had shifted to Goa in the COVID times, and I think this is what I was doing in that time. Best part, and then you can't go out much, but in Goa I had the opportunity to go out. But I also had an opportunity to work with a company called Goa. The fascinating fact for me was that I was working from Goa for a company called Goa. So I was pretty, but I learned a lot, not just the making effects for Asian market. I actually learned how to monetize your art, how to execute things in an agency manner. A lot of learnings from there. Past that, Metaspark also had the opportunity to kind of like join the product team at Meta, where I ran a program called School of AI, where I was a teacher before joining Meta, and then later on, Krunal and Roman taught in that program. So that's where we got scripting, and
Yep.
yeah, it took some convincing from me to convince Krunal to teach there.
I'm forever grateful for that because I think I was very hesitant if you remember for taking that session. I was like, कि, but you gave me that confidence कि कृणाल नहीं तू कर लेगा, and I was like, चलो try करते हैं. And like having privilege to like besides Roman, and Roman was like, Krunal, I am learning from your session. I was like, wow, that is the most like compliments I got. It was like I don't know, yeah. I'm out of my words right now. Like you can see my vocabulary already breaking down.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but like I see those School of AR videos like so often. Like sometimes I'll go to YouTube and just like watch me talking. just to like that happens a lot. Like sometimes I'll just go through it what I spoke, try to download the script and analyze what kind of words I speak in a session. And there's a lot of content. There's an R script for like 10 sessions, so you have like a lot of text to analyze what you speak, how you speak. It's pretty fun. But I think now that the platform is going away, and but the creativity, all these connections and everything will stay with us. um, the greatest validation is this workshop itself, because even when this platform is going away, we're doing a tutorial, and that's the power of like community and the curiosity and then keeping it alive. I mean, this is just like amazing. um, yeah, now I'm breaking Krunal.
Anyone else wants to share their journey? We have Himanshu Gupta also. Jigar Chawda is also here. He's also been working on this one. Sanjay is here, one of my co-workers.
Uh,
Vidhi Srivastava is also here. Vidhi.
Hey, hi everyone. I know
Hi
I've just.
Vidhi, how are you?
Hi, Vidhi.
Hey, hi everyone.
Yeah, so
Vi-
it was really a great experience working out with Meta Spark. You see, something I started with the help of Sumaya College. My journey started from the Sumaya College, and it was like the day I started learning. After a year or so, they started telling me, "Can you take a class for us or not?" It was something like really very experiencing. I was like, I started learning from you, and now you are saying to take class for another people. So it was kind of a creativity which takes you to the lot of things. I have really, it was people say Facebook, 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 but we have really gone through the Facebook. I feel like that it has become a part of a family, something like every morning you wake up, you see what are the statistics, how many people are using your effects, what are the comments, and whenever they, you see, main thing was the community. The community was very powerful over there. Anything you have stuck anywhere, they were really like very helpful. And now the same, I'm looking at this Krunal and you all gang Akash all time. As soon as you put up a message in a group and there's a solution for it. You see, the thing is that important, it plays a very important role to come out to explore the things. So I thanks Krunal and Akash and all the Jitesh always available and other
it's
teams.
not like just one way. It's like it goes both ways, because it's
Yeah,
not like we don't face problems or bugs. It's like when people like you also help us out with ideas, and we also get motivated to help you back immediately.
Yep.
So it's not like a one way thing. It's like it
yeah.
goes both ways.
But it,
So
it, it, it really creates a very great communication and bonding. The main important
Yeah.
is that.
I'll tell you one secret which like I for myself, most of the bugs which people have like told me out, "Ki, Krunal, this is something I'm facing." I didn't know. Like I didn't know how to solve them. Like because you people asked us, right?
True, true.
We took the effort to go out and oh shit, कैसे solve होता है? कैसे solve होता है? But because of you people, we got motivated कि नहीं यार इसको तो solve करते हैं and then put it out. So that is how we also learn. So I always tell this one thing: teaching is the best way to learn.
Correct,
कुछ
correct.
भी हो सीधा सिखाना चालू कर दो, you will automatically see कि अच्छा this topic I have to teach, so I have to learn this also very efficiently. So yeah, like it's as Akash mentioned, it's a two-way process.
Yeah, and you see, sometimes we also come to know, Arey, these hidden secrets we also don't know about this. It is better to learn
Mhm.
because there are multiple questions coming out. when you are in the teaching profession. So
Exactly.
there are number of questions which are going to be arises which you don't even know. You are not ready to. So people are, अरे ये कैसे करते हैं? अरे ऐसा भी होता है क्या? Yeah, this is something like happening all the time. When I go to some sessions also, I see, अरे this effect can be done like this, because many people are exploring multiple things. We alone can't do that. So people knows, अरे this effect is happening. So we also come and then we also go for the research कि भाई कैसे हो रहा है? What is it going on? So they making it this learning is more experiencing. And same right now it is working with Lens Studio. Amazing
Yeah.
sessions you are taking, guys.
Yeah. Special thanks to Krunal and Jitesh especially. Because
Yeah,
like they have not only like been fostering the Metaspark or Lens Studio, they have been like the fostering the whole AR scene actually.
बस ना
Like
पगले
they are
रुलाए मत.
हाँ
yeah,
पर
no, but you deserve
they-
this praise because you don't represent just one software or just one thing. You represent the whole XR community. You're not limited to AR only. You're not limited to Lens
correct.
Studio or
That's
Web
the most
AR. You are
important
also
part.
in the VR space. You're doing things on MetaQuest, and you are also promoting Ray-Bans in the Snapchat office.
अरे यार.
Please delete this sentences.
I hope no one. But yeah, see, to be honest, this is something I like. What I To be honest, like I don't want to थोड़ा gut वो, but um, मैं जब explore कर रहा था when I was learning all of those stuff in my college days, we didn't have that platform, right? We didn't have such events. We didn't have such meetup groups. We didn't have any community, and that was something like a void. Like we we learned everything ourselves, but that is something I wanted to कि नहीं यार, this is a very good uh, technology out there, right? And I जो struggles मैं गया हूँ, right? Let's try to minimize those things. So when I first texted Jitesh, it was just out of like just a random text on like night में 1:30 around कुछ मैंने उसको text डाला था कि जितेश ऐसा एक मीटअप सोच रहा हूँ. And to be honest, just to be frank over here, it was done out of मेटास्पार्क के बहुत सारे वर्कशॉप्स हो रहे थे हर जगह पे, हर कॉलेज में, एवरी कॉलेज, एवरी स्कूल, दे वर टीचिंग मेटास्पार्क द हेल आउट ऑफ इट, राइट? एंड तभी रिसेंटली वी हैड स्टार्टेड थोड़ा थोड़ा एक्सप्लोरिंग स्नैप एआर. सो आई वाज लाइक जितेश, लेट्स फॉर्म अ स्नैप एआर का मीटअप ग्रुप, like that, because like let's get snap AR also thoda thoda, because the competition and the this things, right, it always drives more innovation in the whole industry. So we wanted ki as many technologies we can put out there, people learn and then decide what is best for them. That should be like abhi bhi, to be honest, I don't feel good because India में अभी देखोगे ना, TikTok तो है नहीं, correct?
Correct.
Metaspark is shutting down. So again, Lens Studio is thoda thoda becoming a monopoly here in social AR market, right? Which is ठीक है, like I love the platform. I like, in the sense, I love building with it, but still
No,
having that option was very neat, very great out there. But now it's since becoming a monopoly. Uh, I am still trying to all sort of technologies. YouTube आ रहा है. Hope it becomes very big. Because जितना ज़्यादा competition है वो रहेगा, इतना ज़्यादा अच्छा खासा development भी होगा. We don't want any monopoly. I was rooting कि इंडिया से भी हम लोग ऐसा कुछ बनाए. Let's start. Yes, but like this was only done out of कि जो हम लोग ने struggles face किए हैं, let's try to ease them out in the community, and we just started like, फिर हम लोग ने ऐसा we just randomly डाल दिया कि चलो ये एक meetup है, आ जाओ. And I have told the story infinite times now, but like खाली 5-6 लोग आए थे, उसमें से भी एक दो जन ने सीखा. That was good enough us to keep it going.
वो
So
भी
yeah.
कॉफी शॉप पे.
Exactly. I met Aakash for the first time at a, हम लोग रेस्टोरेंट में ही थे ना, बीकेसी वाले वाला.
हाँ.
He was, मुझे पता नहीं था नवी मुंबई रहता है वो, तो वो वहां पे पहले से आके पहुंच गया कि कब से वेट कर रहा था. And I said, Aakash, extra Aakash. Oh wow. Finally getting to meet you in person. So
Yes.
yeah, like this is like
But
Yeah, it was like
I tell you, Krunal, I started journey for Lens Studio in the year 2020. You see, it was because one of my colleague was in the US and she was developing this all kind of filters for Snapchat when the Snapchat started this. I was searching a lot from India. Is anyone who is committing or doing such kind of sessions or not? But there was no one. And I
Hmm.
randomly came across you. I think so. I came across you through Somaya only. And then from Somaya, I got your connections, and then we met up and I joined this group. But there, lot of people are engaged and want to do this kind of sessions, and they want to learn also. But there is no publicity yet. I think so because it is a kind of a layman one who wants to learn. Many colleges are. I just gave lecture for the IIT Jodhpur 2 days back. The students are very eager to learn Lens Studio because they want to create something more creativity.
Hmm.
You see, so if we target more number of colleges now or students who can go through the colleges, people are not aware about the groups which are happening. And I don't feel so. This community is not that matlab, as big as Meta had.
Hmm.
So I think
हाँ
so.
वो
We
तो
should
है
go.
that's why the goal was कि since Meta was pushing Spark AI everywhere, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We wanted कि थोड़ा थोड़ा जो दूसरे टेक्नोलॉजीज है उसको भी थोड़ा थोड़ा एक्सपोजर मिले,
Mile.
and hence we started the whole snap यार. Like पहले हम लोगों ने SDG रखा था नाम उसका. Then we thought कि let's make it generalized for AR, so we named it ADG. And then finally we decided कि नहीं कृणाल आगे जाके VR वगैरह भी करेंगे, even though it is not right now much popular, but VR is something which is also growing rigorously. So let's go with XR. So finally we decided on the name XDG. And पहले तो कैसा था कि XD जो हम लोग इमोशन लिखते हैं ना हर बार, XD हंसने वाला. So that was the main perspective. I stuck with that name because जितेश को बोला कि जितेश देख हम लोग ऐसा XD हर जगह पे रखेंगे. It never stuck out, but yeah, exactly XDG. Yeah, but it never stuck. But yeah, I think it more of became XXXDGF later on. But yeah, this the whole thing started with Meta Spark. So it's kind of very emotional कि चीज आ रहा है. As Naveen also mentioned, Metaspark community was the like one of the best thing out there because
Yeah, yeah.
मैं इंस्टा पे भी नहीं डालता था ना. मैं पहले सबसे पहले वो फेसबुक ग्रुप में डालता था.
हाँ.
Whenever I used to like make any effect, I used to post it on Facebook group, and I loved seeing the comments उधर जाके. It was like a big motivator for me कि हाँ, this is something being appreciated. Like the people are loving such effects, and I should good going. And
And people used
less
to
list
share
also.
their hood patches and internal things without anyone asking. They were like,
I,
I discovered this new process.
हाँ.
They just give it in the community, and everyone is like, oh, yeah, we can also do this, do that. And eventually, all of that trickled down into the AR library. And now those are the patches everyone uses. But initially, people were sharing the patches, the screenshot of the patch editor in the group so that everyone knows what to do, how to do. And that was like a very big thing for me also because I don't come from a coding background as such now. So I used to ask many questions, and I when I followed tutorials, I did not constrain myself to. I could not. I had like I want to make this my way. I don't want to copy what you already made. So I had to have so many questions, and I had to post in the community, and within like 15-20 minutes someone has already answered my queries. And it's not just the answered it, they have also given me a few extra ideas on how to do it. So that was one of the biggest motivators for me.
yeah,
At one at one point though, it had become like a competition between me and Jitesh. It was like कि it's ये वाला पहले कौन solve करता है. Like literally, if you see the ripple wala shader he has made, right? So I tried figuring it out using the Unity shader graph. Okay, Unity shader graph means I tried to figure it out. I got the basic version up and running, and I posted out. सीधा मैंने group पे डाल दिया. People loved it. Jitesh was like कि नहीं इसमें और भी कुछ कमी है. The highlights, the shadows, and everything are still missing. So he was like कि नहीं मैं थोड़ा late निकालूंगा. He perfected out those details and highlights and everything. and he posted a beautiful version of that, and it
I
was being
think that was
used in the
Naveen.
official.
That was
Yeah,
solving with
Naveen
me.
was also there. Naveen helped me out with the details and stuff. फिर मैंने क्या किया पता है मैंने वो गमरोड पे डाला हुआ था फ्री में. I changed out the link. उसने बोला कि सीधा ये जितेश के उसके ऊपर जाओ. So it was like very good. Like वो जब हमने वो वाला start किया था ना, it was like कि इसको कौन पहले solve करता है, मजा आएगा. That was a learning process for it. Like rivalry होता है ना वो Pokemon में, वैसे type
Positive
का.
rivalry.
So
Yup, yup, yup.
it was that only. I started with the Lens Studio. I quit the Lens Studio because there were no more number of people supporting for the Metaspark. As soon as you put the question, there was a reply. As soon as you put the question within 15-20 days, there was a reply. Matlab 15-20 minutes, you are ready. At the end of the day, you are ready with the effect. So Lens Studio was there not that much. There was no support for that thing. But
Actually,
I
this
eventually
Metaspark,
take
because it was not coding based, many people from different backgrounds joined in and got into it now. So that's why it had gotten a stronger community than Lens Studio, because that comes from the Unity side. So that's the reason why it was such a big community, and the community was not of developers, it was of people who were just in general enthusiastic about the specific software only.
yeah.
Exactly. And I still think Lens Studio is not that अभी तक उतना यूजर फ्रेंडली है नहीं जितना फ्रॉम द अदर पर्सपेक्टिव लाइक इन द सेंस मेटास्पार्क का आप देखोगे इट इज स्टिल मोर एक्सेसिबल आई स्टिल समटाइम्स रिकमेंड कि अगर वो अभी बंद नहीं हुआ होता तो इवन दो आई वाज प्राइमरीली वर्किंग विद स्नैपियर व्हेनेवर अ क्लाइंट कम्स टू मी आई टेल देम कि Instagram is more accessible. Instagram के effects you can like anyone can build, right? Developers भी अगर उनको बोलता मैं उनको हर बार उनको they ask me कि कृणाल road map for AR दे दो एक कुछ how do I start? So I tell them कि social AR से start करो. But if you're coming from coding background, then only try with Lens Studio. Otherwise, you start with the Metaspark, right? So वही अभी तक Lens Studio वहाँ पे नहीं पहुंचा. They are trying to cope up with that with Gen AI, but I don't think so. विजुअल स्क्रिप्टिंग का कुछ आना चाहिए. क्या अनिकेत गो अहेड.
या मैंने कुछ लेंस स्टूडियो लेंस बना दी विदाउट कोडिंग.
हाँ हाँ कोडिंग के बिना बना सकते हैं वैसा नहीं है but the amount of freedom which Metaspark provides, right? For example, if you see Lens Studio, they have behavior scripts and they have like asset libraries where you can take the assets. But here in Metaspark, you had the whole logic building wala thing as a patch editor, right? So you can build each and everything which you can with the scripts apart from थोड़ा दो तीन चीजें, everything from patches. वैसा था. But in Lens Studio, there are still things if you need complex games and stuff, you have to use coding. वैसा उनके templates use करके बना रहे हो, that is something else. But if you want to build some new ideas, games and stuff, you still have to use scripting, which we are still finding a ideal way to solve that problem out. But let's see. Visual
I've
scripting
been
5.0 पे आया नहीं अभी तक.
I've been learning about like product and like the entire cycle of a product. Been going through like a couple of lectures since few days. I think one notable thing that I found between Spark and Lens Studio is this Metaspy was a great product. It was like a great product design where I think Snap likes and a great product design. The more and more products you see upcoming this time in the time of AI is that don't show me so much things. Just show me things that I really want to work with or no. Like for example, I don't want to go to Google and have like 10 results, but give me a search box and then I ask something, give me one answer for it, and this is it. Like that's the kind of like a nice product design that probably is like everybody's looking forward and more familiar with. So much convenient that way.
Yeah, this I agree with. Because when once I was used to Spark here, right, everything was like kind of self-explanatory, where everything were laid out. The UX was so good. But once I came to Lens Studio, it's not only that I was used to Spark here, but Lens Studio was kind of chaos. Like I had to figure out where things were and the things which were interlinked. I had to search like for a few elements and panels and stuff like that, which didn't make sense in certain cases. So yeah, in that way, yeah, Spark Air was really good.
Provided all the bugs and have been there in the product, we still say that it was a great product, but I know It's like
Yeah, it still
kind
has
of.
got bugs. Like if you go to the platform status, it still says they're solving two bugs, and
So
those
we
bugs have been there.
recently did this effect for Royal Enfield. This has actually started in June, all right, and then we finished it this month, and we launched it in like last week. And so it has like a delay frame, everything, and then when we launched it, and when you click on photo, it goes black all of a sudden. And now there's no support, and this money
Ah,
stuck with Royal Enfield now. I tell you how many कितने पापड़ बेले हैं ना उसको solve करने के लिए, because now there's no product support. We just have to change our approach towards this. And delay frame तो लगेगा, मतलब you can't.
ah,
But somehow I found a way to fix it, and like it took me additional 3 days to do that. But somehow like I felt that now the platform is going away. There's not gonna be a support. There's still bugs and dot to it. And this bug has been living since almost 3 years now.
yeah. It's now feature at a point. Then what can you say?
Yeah.
I have high hopes with YouTube right now. So let's see how they do because they are approaching it like Metaspark only. No scripting, no bullshit. It's like a very good, clean UI. And I hope that they will launch.
Wait. No bullshit. What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, Lens Studio has got so many things going on which are unnecessary. So it's like cluttered and it gives you too much information which I do not really need. So that is something that it needs to work on.
Hello.
Yes, yes.
Hey guys, I'm Yuvraj, and I specifically work in Unity and in architectural AR and VR space. It's been like 4 months, so I can say I'm quite new in this field, but I'm quite surprised by my knowledge base today. I had no clue about Metaspark and such. There were no code tools. I come from a coding background, so it was quite easier for me as it relies with my college curriculum and such, but I'm quite surprised and seeing so much optimism about it. I think I should try tonight. Lens Studio. I think Spark has been shut down, right? So I
Yes.
think I'll try Lens Studio tonight and see. And if someone asks me in the future what was like inspiration of, I know had no clue about AR and stuff. I've made in Unity 2 3 projects and such because I specifically do VR. But yeah, I'll try it. And in the future, if someone asks me what was the inspiration of doing Lens Studio and such, I can say this need. So yeah, thank you so much for giving us knowledge, especially to us we who works in Unity 24/7, and I think it's been quite a force for me. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for having us, and thank you for being a part of this community. And we are eager to see what you make in Lens Studio because currently everyone is learning that, and everyone is so much full of ideas. And whatever the community was lacking in Lens Studio, once Metaspark has closed, so many people have joined Lens Studio community that it is becoming better and better each and every day. They have started their Discord also right now, so if you have any doubts, any questions, the Lens Studio or the Snap AR Discord is a very good place to ask questions. I think so. We are done for the meet for now. If anyone has any experiences, anyone wants to share or talk about Metaspark or the journey, you can, or else we will end the meet in 2 minutes.
I want to ask you, Akash, something. What are you looking forward to, especially in these times when, let's say, one platform is going away, but then advancement of even AI and then, special immersive tech is also booming both parallelly. What are you looking forward to in this year, 2025?
So I have got a very wide plan. So I am obviously pursuing Lens Studio and WebAR. I'm focusing myself on camera kit, but apart from that, I am also focusing on 3D printing. So I'm developing my own product, and I'm going to start selling that. And I'm working on learning some CAD softwares, learning material science, and it's a whole different world. So let's see. So that's more of a side business, but that will take up much more of my time than I will dedicate to AR.
Yeah, that's exciting. Right?
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah.
Yes, so I've been working on like materials which are transparent, glow and dark materials, color changing materials, and carbon fiber infused materials. So I am like completely dwelling into 3D printing. But my, of course, the backbone for my financial backbone will be AR, and I'll be focusing on Lens Studio and Web AR. But apart from that, I'll see what Meta is working on the spatial creator also, and let's see how it goes. But to be honest, I do not see myself going into a platform which will be scripting or coding based. So if it is not, then I might give it a chance. But otherwise, I have my hopes high on YouTube right now.
How many of you like are like shifting to VR, like Unity and native programs?
Me. I mean, my
Yeah.
journey started with Spark AR, but to be honest, I didn't know I was running away from coding since past 3, 4 years. Though I was in computer science, I started with Spark AR and I got to know everybody here because of Spark AR. But then I wanted to build my own experiences. But at the end, I was like, okay, unless and until I know programming, I can't have control over my creative thinking and the functionality of it. So that's where it all started. I started learning programming this year I think, last year, Jan. I started learning Unity and yeah, I feel comfortable building my own custom experiences right now, and I feel comfortable in VR to build
But
whatever I want.
But what are your thoughts on what Zuckerberg like recently told in his interview, right? That
Yeah,
around 2025, 2026, he is going to like replace mid-level software developers with AI, right? So how are you looking AI as a tool or as a business tool? Like in a sense, if, at this point, if you are learning programming language, is it even fruitful? Like, what do you think about
yeah.
that?
I feel that's a good thing that I I feel that okay, like technology and all these programming tasks could be take over, but I feel that I'll be confident with my ideas and I can build really quick. So now I use ChatGPT
Correct.
a lot. Though I use ChatGPT for syntax, I know I can build my stuff on my own, but have this really
Yep.
crazy idea. And instead of spending 20 days, I can do it in like 3 days because of ChatGPT. And I think if you have really good ideas, I don't think any of these will matter unless and until you know the basics. So I think people who have good uh, prototypes or good ideas to publish to the world, I think they can still do something, and that'll be a good thing that these AI models are becoming stronger, and it'll just make things faster for
Correct.
creators to build. So I see it in that way.
Same here, same. Like even if I know programming, now I don't actually, to be honest, code also because I know like what to code. Correct? I know what
Yeah.
it is going to do, and I would totally spend like 10 minutes to write like even if I know coding, right? Even if I know okay,
Yeah.
what function I have to write, correct? I'll spend some time to write. Whereas ChatGPT can like just quickly give me that whole thing and I can just copy paste, right? So it's saving my
Exactly.
time in typing also. Not only learning or it's like coding, but it's saving my time in typing. So why wouldn't I?
Exactly.
It's also saving a time to even like create a new file, give it an extension. You ask cursor to do that for you, it will like happily do it, manage it for you. I mean, like the one language that you should know is English. How to write the great spells for these AI to work is what like you should definitely know. But having an understanding of programming just a little bit so that you could actually take out the gibberish that AI writes is very important as well. Because if your code goes into production, if you're making an app, um, because I think when you're building a larger product, a little bit bigger, and like a lot of functions into it, AI could write a lot of gibberish stuff that you might not need. And you might have to like obviously look at it, what to include, what to not. It's a little bit of understanding of the framework is really important. Otherwise, these AIs are like your interns. Like I treat them, I call them interns. So Cursor is my intern, unpaid
Minions.
intern. I actually paid intern because I paid $20.
Exactly. But yeah, like this is so AI has like fundamentally changed my one process, right? Especially the Gen AI. So initially, when we started with this AR, right? The main hurdle was how blended it could get, right? Like how I can blend my virtual experiences with the real world seamlessly. And we are trying to optimize the 3D modeling, the reflections and shadow details and everything. I was like, okay, at the end, when I master all of those skills, I'll be able to blend these things very, very seamlessly. But now when we see like models like even Sora or like VO2 and Luma is coming out like with their new model as well. So they are integrating like virtual elements into your real world. Very astonishing, like very realistic, right? But it is all post-processing right now. Correct. Once we get to that inference level of like real time, right? We can just wear those glasses. And I saw this demo on Vision Pro का एक prototype वो लोग ने बनाया था, not a development prototype, but it was just a visual After Effects में किसने बनाया था. You wear it and you are walking down a lane like your real street, and you tell them कि medieval कर दो इसके अंदर. ठीक है, like medieval setting. So it transformed the whole scene around me in that theme. Correct. So Gen AI has this capability. If it gets real-time inference, then I don't even have to worry about those things. I can just say कि like draw a dragon, like animate a dragon flying around me, and it will seamlessly integrate into my reality. Right. So Gen AI is like unlocking those things. Okay, this is the way we can go. Style transfer, immersive ML effects of look we are seeing in the Snapchat, right? Even those are like a very magical features, to be honest, because transforming yourself into a Disney character, like without ML, without style transfer, it would have been so much of a work. Like you have to get all of those things very right, and now you just have to train a model on that Disney character, and it gets you there. So yeah, it's changed the way we are proceeding, and I'm liking it. Like it's scary, but yeah, exciting as well. Crazy.
What do you
Like
guys think about Android XR?
Yeah, that's very interesting. Let's see how it goes, because uh they are going to announce that headset in early पता नहीं कब करने वाले वो लोग. I
I
thought it
think,
was
yeah, in Feb sometime.
Feb, no? Yeah, it's interesting to see.
I
The
can see
future is going
slowly
there.
the other companies also digging in, like MI and other brands with their own headsets, and they're
Hmm.
gonna standardize it again. And yeah,
It will
same
become like
thing
a Android of
exactly.
XR over there.
Yeah, same thing that happened with smartphones.
Yep. So Apple Vision Pro will be like iPhone, और ये वाले सब हो जाएंगे अपने Android.
Uh,
Yep. Vision Pro, like someone asked about Vision Pro. Vision Pro is a very neat technology. If you ever get a chance to try out the Vision Pro headset, you should, you must, because that level of immersiveness and the quality is unmatched. Like, and the main part about Apple is the ecosystem itself, right? How seamlessly they blend everything into one. But I'm highly disappointed by what they have demoed over there, because the hardware itself is capable of like it's a MacBook Pro
yeah,
type ka system specifications, and they are showing floating screens as a demo over there. But I think they
2D.
have done it to get the users to adapt, right? Like I was always like, oh, why are they using floating windows in the AR, right? Whenever I see, I was like, this is not AR. I was like, कि इसमें immersiveness कुछ बना सकते हो, because you have that technology, you have that control, you have that freedom, and you're still replicating what we already are having right now with us. We are running away from the 2D screens, and you are putting that only in the space. But I think that's the beginning, because when we try it out, right? So those of you know, we have that spectacles now, the fifth generation of spectacles. And I recently, like, there was one tech influencer who didn't even experience AR for once, right? And she tried it out, and Oh, इतना delicate है, मैं like it's so heavy for my delicate head. Why I'm not able to see this properly? ये कि इतने छोटू सा vision क्या है इसके अंदर? I was like, I was like, oh, this is what future is going to look like. I was like, no. So while we are so enthusiastic and excited about this, but until it gets it right over there, like when it feels very real. So main thing about phone is like I can be like typing right now, right? ठीक है मैं ऐसे type कर रहा हूँ. No one would know कि मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ. But in AR and VR, we have to particularly think about those interactions very much because until and unless everyone is seeing the same thing which we are, people will think we are goofy, right? Because when we are putting out our hands in the air and doing these actions, everyone else, oh, pagal ho gaya kya ye banda? So that is the perspective of this thing. And until unless we get everyone on board, it is still going to look like that. So yeah, like
The
It is.
craziest use case that I've seen of AI glasses,
yeah.
especially spectacles, is what Goa has released today.
Yes,
They're
child
like,
finder.
yeah, never miss your kid again. Like, it's such a nice utility. I mean, like, such a creative thing to do. It's very nice.
It is
Yeah.
just like when a first Bluetooth had came. People are अरे खड़े खड़े अकेले क्यों बात कर रहा है मतलब it is kind of that. You see, many
Hmm.
people like अरे अचानक खड़े खड़े बोलने क्यों लग गया ये आदमी. Mentality was that पागल हो गया है क्या. Then it came to know this as a Bluetooth headset and it will be the same after 2 to 3 years. People will be engaged in these things. It will take
नवीन
a different
वो
time.
एक्सपीरियंस देख के ना मुझे वो वाला याद आया व्हेन आई सॉ दैट चाइल्ड फाइंडर्स वाला एक्सपीरियंस नो वी आई यू नो देयर वाज दिस ट्रिक कि you tie a balloon to your kid whenever he is left in the mall,
हाँ
right?
हाँ 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 हाँ.
कैसे बलून देख के हम लोग फिर उसको फाइंड आउट कर सकते थे. सो आई वाज लाइक कि इसमें एआर में भी दे शुड हैव पुट वन balloon on the top where you can see the balloon from anywhere. That could
Yeah.
have been nice touch.
And these days,
But yeah.
technically, it's nothing. Technically,
Yeah.
it's like,
It's
like what they have done is like replicated air tags, like, the
hmm.
air tags find a bag. Child
Ah,
finder is like amazing. Yeah. This is a good tie back. I'm really
yep.
inspired. Like today, I saw that post and I'm like, wow, yeah, nice.
Nice, nice. That's all. Like Abhi tak, that's what I am also thinking. If we have this technology existing since so many years now, and it has the potential of getting into our daily lives, everyday life, but the activation is still not there. The activation of this technology is still not there. We should find ways to plug AR, VR everywhere, like whenever it is needed, not redundantly use it. Like I don't want it कि हाँ भाई कुछ जरूरत नहीं है फिर भी AR डाल दो. But we have so many use cases where we can actually find uh, those things. I love that demo which is still going around जो बहुत साल से चलते आ रहा है, the cooking one. When you head towards the kitchen, it shows you whole recipe, right? It is still not done. It is still a video prototype, but I see those things happening now with spectacles and all of these glasses. There's, at CES also, the Rokid one the wearable was announced. Xreal is doing very good in the wearable tech. So it's
LED,
amazing to
LED.
see.
I mean, LED
Yep.
is pretty much.
Yep. Exactly. And
I'm
Orion जब
thinking
आएगा
like
तब
Orion is like 3 years from now. Like, I know like they will also reach, let's say, I think whatever FOB they will increase, let's say in 2, 3 years we will reach there. I mean, right
hmm.
now I really want to like go to find these Chinese companies who can ship these things. Like really they can do. I'm telling you, like it's gonna be there in the market when people are selling for VR glasses but not for 150 200 rupees. But I really want to find these companies and like send it back to me, open it up, what are they doing, build for it. Because software part is not really. I'm telling you, it's not really difficult.
Let's
Like
plan a trip to China. We really should go there, buy all this crazy tech over there, and then come home and build something out of it.
I will order from Alibaba. Yeah.
There is this reel. This is my guilty pleasure, but there's this reel. Like she is very famous. I don't know how famous she is, but if you go to China, you know, so she sings like that, and so that she takes the name of each and every city where you can find the best product. So if you want to go to China, Xingu, Shasha, ऐसा कुछ तो वो बोलती है, and it is so good. I was like, चलो इसके लिए China visit करना पड़ेगा.
This is the TikTok trend.
Yep,
Uh,
yep. But yeah,
exciting times. Yeah.
exciting times.
Also, what are you looking forward to Krunal this year? What are your plans?
No idea.
Okay.
I'm like a Tatkal guy. Like if whatever is like I see next, ki this interests me, and then I'll take it up. So there's no long-term plans as such, but I plan on to push forward the whole XR as it is. But yeah, like there's no clear like financial or end goal towards it. But I'm just excited to, even if I'm bystander, I'm not contributing. I I I just love it. Like whenever I see some post which where some exciting AR experiences, like oh wow, this is so good, this is so good. So I was like, "ठीक है." But I don't know. I am still figuring it out. Let's see where it takes me. Ah,
Yeah.
Sudhanshu.
So even I want to share my experience with Spark Studio now.
Yeah.
So I started Spark Studio. As Akash said, it gives freedom to everyone, creator, developer, and everyone. So I got to know about Spark Studio when I was in my college second year. Between my first year and second, it's about 22, 21, 22 around that. So at that time, I was just exploring. I just got to know this. Even I was working on Unity's visual scripting and everything. So I like got to know the documentation of Spark Studio and all. I was trying out everything. Then our college fest was about to come. So our college fest name is Animatrix. So I
Okay.
made cool face filters and I added some 3D models, and I was already learning Blender and everything. So I made some cool filters and I was cool guy around around the college and all. Then I got this idea. So I actually love and hate Spark Studio at the same time, because the reason being is ki, I got an idea. So we used to do this treasure hunt thing in our face. So I thought, let's do a AR hunt this time. So I started working, and it has some lens limit, right? The filter limit and everything. So actually made multiple lenses for that, uh, and I executed the entire treasure hunt. Everyone enjoyed, my seniors, my juniors, everyone. We sticked the target image, targeted image around the college, and everyone enjoyed. We even designed the posters, and everyone to invite and play, and everyone was really enjoying. Yeah, that's why I hate and love this Sparkster at the same time, because I had to create multiple lenses and all
Acha.
for the
I was like, why do you hate? Because this is so good, no?
uh,
You had to create multiple things. Yeah.
yeah, but enjoyed a lot at that time. It was my like college thing ki, uh,
Fun fact, when I also started like एकदम start में जब when I
mhm,
started AR, no, so we had this like a non-technical event called Scale, ठीक है?
mhm,
And at that time I was learning Unity Vuforia, ठीक है? So
mhm,
Vuforia had this image target. So we did a similar thing. I used a voxel-based modeling तभी, so it's for like the cube वाला thing, and I had created multiple areas of my college. Like it had a robotic wala, like labs, then it had Mac lab, then it had a seminar hall. So I had created those voxel-based thing inside that modeling tool, and I like we played a treasure hunt कि हर एक ऐसे अलग 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 space में we had this QR code stuck, and तभी भी I had this itch of the like creating that, because if you see image target, right, so those had specific features.
mhm,
You if the pattern should be very rich in like this one, it should not have a like a bland background, it should not have a shining
mhm,
background, it's a plain background नहीं होना चाहिए.
mhm,
It tracks all of those features. So I had created this एक online JavaScript based tool जिसमें you put the size of the image like 512 by 512, and
mhm,
it used to put random pixels on each of the pixels, and it gave out this QR code looking thing image marker for
mhm.
each of the location. So वो वाला बना के we put it out in the each and every space, and then जो finally जीता उनको फिर हम लोग ने वो event के अंदर award दिया था. And yeah, that was like
Even
AR Hunt is the best thing to get
even
started with this thing.
this heat map thing ki it detects the entire image and all. So even
Exactly.
benefited me to one more thing. That time we were running out of our funds and all at that time. So randomly, I don't know how we got into that time. NFTs were in so demand that time. So we got in touch with a metaverse company called Tanukios or something. I don't remember the exact name. So they sponsored us, and I got sponsors to our college
Wow.
and all. It was crazy, amazing journey collaborating with them also. So we gave everyone a free NFT that time. So,
Yeah, NFTs. Yes, AR was being used as NFTs for a long period. Like
hmm.
people were selling filters as a NFT thing. Like you buy this
Hmm.
and you will get this a marker. And on marker, if you scan this onto
Yeah,
Instagram,
we did that.
it will. So it was like very interesting to see how this platform was used and everything. I still said like I don't see a reason to shut it down completely. But I can see even maintenance has a resource added, right? Even if you just want to maintain on the state right now, it is right. Just don't add any new features or something like that, but still maintain it. Like you still have to have a review system in place. You still have that public privacy and policies and everything in place. So I think that is resource heavy, and that's why they called it off completely. But yeah, it's very sad. Like I think thoda thoda डाल देते यार. What do you say, Naveen? Did you not urge them when you were in the team? कि please थोड़ा ऐसा.
They never used to listen here. It's like all I got was I can tell you I had like difficult conversations and all disappointmented answers. Like, they're like a capitalist here at the end of the day. So they will want
Hmm.
to just think of numbers, data, and try to like I don't know give them analysis of like how is it important, emotional analysis also, but they don't care about sentiment. They never read. I think yeah. At the end of the day, they wanted to like for the right reasons you mentioned, like the maintenance and everything was like pretty heavy on cost,
Hmm.
not making
But
enough business for them.
I feel they started this planning a long back to shut it down. What do you feel? Because Prerik and Somaya used to do a lot of sessions and all the things. Then suddenly the developer circle they shut it down suddenly. So
No,
that was
not really. Like they had, let's say, what happened whenever like company such company work, they have like an year sprint plan, a next year sprint plan. There's a fund decided, and I can tell you like the like million or millions of dollars for funds of like for community programs and whatnot. I even got some funds for myself to like run some programs in India. But then it was like very sudden decision that they might have taken. So probably like 2 3 months in advance within the team also, and then they had to give like a 6 months notice to entire country or like entire community. It was not like well decided that they will close it. I was hoping they'll close it in like 26 or 27. That's what my guess was. If they are not able to improve it, they would have to shut it down because everybody else is improving. So that was my thought process, but I think it was a sudden decision. Nobody had a clue. They were actually hiding and all. People got fired and all after that. They got rehired and all, but still, like there was no clue of like it shutting down that way internally.
But when you like mentioned right, कि they were not able to improve. But as Akash has like in the sense he saw in the internal builds right, there were traces of ML component being introduced, 3D body tracking being introduced. So there were like traces of those things coming. So what happened like exactly? Like,
Yeah,
they didn't
yeah.
manage to do it or like what?
No, I think these are let's say when I told you, like these are like let's say 2 years ahead plan or whatnot. Like if you
Oh,
remember, they were also so the ML. I have made ML effects for my versions that I had access to. They were also using AWE, if you remember, like you don't have to use Unity, you could make for Quest Metaspark. There were also those progress going on. So they were
correct.
looking forward to build it. There was like whole sprint plan for this, right? But I think to answer your question, the fundamentally how they set up the Spark Air engine
Yeah.
and why it is producing bugs was not right at the root level.
Hmm.
So there was like a lot of the way it was like the product design part was good. The engineering was let's say was not that great to cope up, and then they couldn't really talk to their internal product team like Instagram, Facebook. That's where the effect is going to be shipped. So the internal connect between the policies and the testing was not really that great. So that's what they tried to fix for like a couple of years. It didn't really work out. I think so they always had bugs. They tried, they had like different sort of steps every time, like okay, let's restart, let's do better. But I don't think that was like a great execution.
Do you think the they chose like it was a wrong decision to go with reactive programming where everyone else was going with imperative programming? Like, can
Actually,
that contribute?
that doesn't change anything on the engine level. Like probably that's just like one part of uh, like it gives you a real time. The reactive programming, what it does is that gives you real time positions without having more computation at the end because like let's say the mod like some inference is coming
Hmm.
altogether. So I think that way is it just only makes it better. Doesn't like it wouldn't make it worse in any case. Like like if you introduce a feature to make the platform better, it was actually making it better that way. But then later on they moved from it because let's say there was not much use of it. Like not everybody was comfortable with reactive programming. It was such a new thing. They also had plans to just had React coming in for the UI stuff. But like
Wow.
there's a lot of programs going on. I'm telling you, like every day there's a new innovation coming in. Somebody pitching an idea, people start working on it. I tell you, the Facebook like button was a part of result of an internal hackathon at
Hmm.
Facebook. There's the like button, and there are like such hackathons every month where people just like try building some feature and then push it. Like hey, this is what we think. Any team can do that. So this culture is like pretty nice that way. So every day there is like there are so many products they don't even come out. They just fail it because they don't. Somebody would say like doesn't have enough business. Show me $3 million. Show me that like not enough. Like the sometimes. So all those things are there. I think every corporate would have those proof of concepts and everything. This I don't know this backstory of this threads. Uh, this was also a product which was part of some, like they were building back in 2022, and
Hmm.
all of a sudden Mark Zuckerberg converted that product to this threads, and they launched it like super sped it up. Like I know the teams were like probably 2 3 days they were crazy to launch it. Like no, we have to launch it this date. Some announcement because Twitter was bought and like
Bored by, yeah.
yeah. So it was pretty.
Do you use it?
I obviously signed up and all. I don't.
I think
No.
they missed the chance to integrate directly with the Instagram. I think it would have been a better way of like, so we have like a photos and like now the reels only is there, like mostly we see reels, but we could have this other tab called threads, where basically it's like a textual version of posting. So I think if it had been integrated directly into Instagram, I would have used it more compared to Twitter, because on X right now mostly what I see is negative things, which is of course because like since they have made it paid, right? Any verified uh, people can earn from their engagement. So instead of posting positive, more people are like endorsing like fake engagement होता है ना, baiting, right? They deliberately put some fight wala as a controversy over there, so people go like haywire over there, like comment ki हाँ ये this they are getting money out of it, right? But in the end, the whole platform is like looking thoda negative. But it's a very good source for news. Every news I get it like from X first. But I think Thread would have been a good positive place for that thing. But
Yeah, I mean, great product, but yeah, I don't know. It didn't get to my heart. A lot of people use it. Is I don't know how why. But Threads is the platform we're discussing. It was launched by Meta earlier last year. But I think what I'm excited about, like even X, is that why Elon bought it right now. After some time, like now, all the data, like I don't know, you must have
AI,
read this.
Grok,
So AI, like all the data that was there available digitally has been fed up by the AI systems. They know. So now they're being trained on synthetic data.
correct.
So if you want to make an AI experience better, the only data which will improve the product is the social platforms. Like
Hmm.
anybody who has social platforms, because that's where you have like more personalized
Exactly.
choices to make. So Meta is leading in that. Now that X is definitely going to lead that particularly. He has like I don't know bought like so many Nvidia servers this year. The Elon Musk. Microsoft could also be the one because I think the biggest user base they have right now, obviously Windows machine, and but also ChatGPT. And I think a lot of people talking to it. It is definitely personalized. Like now it knows what you want to ask, what you want to know, how you react to it, what you do, what do you copy. They know like what did you like. So I
Many
think
many
more.
people are even shifting from XR to Gen AI. Like even if we talk about, so Kavin also, right? If you know Kavin, so he, like, in a sense, he, like, like, he parted away with Josephine, like with Orar, and in RB Kavin Studio is now offering AR, VR as well as AI, right?
Yeah, yeah.
AI. And what do you think about that? Like people shifting from XR to AI. Is it what do you think about that? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so AI will can never give you a full experience. All right. So I can tell you the future market is right now looking at, I forgot the number, but it's like some three-digit billion economy for special experiences, which are also supported by AI. I guess AI will give you, let's say, logic, knowledge, and all those things. But if in order to make it better experience, you need to go special, you need to go immersive,
Hmm.
and that's where like you have to get to the intersection of both.
Correct.
And a lot of people know AI, a lot of people know AR, like XR into it. There are very less people who know both of these things. I think more and more people are collaborating together to go into that space. Even I'm actually getting into this right now. I think you'll soon have some update on this as well. You can say
Nice.
that I followed Kevin, but I think he was just early and
Yeah.
but,
Even
but
even
I think
even even Android XR, if you see the launch, right? So they are heavily, like, focused on the Gemini part of it. Like how AI, like as a Gemini, is assisting you in this new reality. And I think that is what we are also all heading towards. Like where I use this term called Gen XR. And basically, it is like generating XR experiences through these AI models. So I think we are slowly, eventually, it will like replace the whole generation of this. Because in the end, XR is more of a content generation, right? And as and when AI gets very perfect with that, right, it is capable of generating, as I mentioned earlier as well, real-time experiences, logic, which is, if you have ever like tried the Easy Lens, which is available in the Snapchat, and it was available in TikTok way before, right? So you just write a simple English prompt and it creates assets, scripts, 2D assets, 3D assets, and it gives you the whole lens with the logic built in. So that
yeah,
is something very fascinating. It's still in beta. It's not able to do complex stuff, but what it is doing, it was earlier taking like a series of 6 tutorial videos to go through just to get the background right, the VFX particles and the face mask. Now it's doing just under like 5 minutes. So,
yeah. So this is what is it is the automation. So
hmm,
this is what they have done is the automation. There is no new groundbreaking tech that they've introduced here. What they've done this automation, they figured out the process. Like iterating Elon Musk here, this is what he emphasizes on. Start automating whatever you do and you'll get to a new solution. Like
hmm,
definitely. So I've been learning SnapML, I've been experimenting quite a lot. Um, so I found it very fascinating. But what I'm trying to right now also do is like how can three models can work together. Like right now it's fine. TK one model is like giving you this and that. I want three models to work together and then give me some output because that would be like a great stuff to unlock. I am able to do it. I have done this two models. I'm like trying to the third one. Uh, Interesting stuff that way. When like the easy lens is like you can train one, but then it will be just one effect. But you have to
exactly.
like train it separately though to be able to use more than one model.
Hmm.
Um, I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah.
But XR is not going away. Anyone, like, just to be clear, XR is not going away. Just
Yeah.
because one platform is shutting down, um, it doesn't. Because so I've seen in this, like, our community itself. people were very scared because if Meta Spark, like one of the biggest social AR platform, it has so many users, it has so many client projects coming in, so many brands using it as a marketing tool, and if it can get shut down like so suddenly, then why would any other social AR platform be any different, right? So people were like, "Ki Krunal, Lens Studio में भी like करना, is it safe for my future?" So I was like, see, I am believing in that future and I'm just going with it. So yeah, like there's no guarantee. That's why I keep again and again, I'm like encouraging as well. Even though my favorite is Snap Lens Studio tool, but I still advocate about all of these tools out there. And then you decide what is the best tool for you. Right? If you want to do on web, then you have WebXR. We have so many libraries over there. But yeah, like the industry itself is booming. So if you get, WebXR is also very on the rise. If you see right now, more and more clients also are like, "Ki Krunal, we want our own domain. We want to host AR effects on our own uh, link. Is that something possible?" So I do suggest people now to get into WebXR also more and more. But yeah, like there's no discrete one answer. Ki how do you go with it? Because there's so many frameworks and libraries out there. So yeah.
I mean, 100%. I mean, there is no hesitation into it that XR is gonna boom, all right? So I was just like analyzing like AI and AR together, and then I saw some graphs, all right? Like even you analyze, you mentioned in the discussion NFT, and let's say crypto has been there also, like Web3, like just analyze what has happened in past couple of months. So the graph is kind of like AI has reached to some level now. It will
Hmm.
take some time to prove now. XR has got a dip in the middle. Now it's time to go up.
Go up.
Like, so I'm like pretty. I'm also like never leaving XR. Like, I'm definitely want to go into AI so that I can combine both. But XR is going to be the route. Like, it's definitely not going away. Yeah.
Heart.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like, just guys, I want to kind of leave you with this video. It's very interesting. It's the ladder of abstraction, basically, like how people say like look from something on like a 30,000 feet view and like you'll see things clearly. The closest example is the Google Maps. When you look at a building quite closely and then you zoom out and then you see the city, the building becomes like a probably a point. Then you go out, you might even not the city, will you see the country. I would just like leave you with this video. I hope you like it. It's a great watch. Let me know if you like it. I'm happy to discuss what it brings. It's very inspiring, very short video, 16 minutes video, but yeah, pretty nice watch. Yeah.
Thank you. And excellent. Echo.
अरे दो दो
Echo. So I was basically recording from my laptop and I had to rest out to my sister's place. So I was using my phone. But yeah, like this has been a very emotional roller coaster, the whole Metaspark journey. And it will be forever in our hearts. Like even though I was not using it lately, but the moments, the connections I've made, the people I've met through it, the thing like the it gave me that ease of access entry to the AR world, right? Like from Unity when we came here to the first time, I thought gimmick it was. Then I found out the real potential. It was so easy to put out my lens effects over there. So yeah, like very emotional because we got recognized due to that, right? Lens list community members, we got connected due to that. Naveen, you, Roman, Shivani, everyone, right? When we had the first Metaspark ka meet XDG के उधर तभी I got to meet Aakash and Shivani. I don't think so उसके पहले वो लोग मिलते because Snap का था. So when it happened like Metaspark का जब meetup हुआ था तभी हम लोग मिले थे. So yeah, like I don't show it. I don't put it in my face, but I do feel it because I don't know. After this call, I maybe like cry also a bit, but yeah, so sad. But ठीक है. I'm still optimistic that it will come back in some form
back.
of the other.
Yes, they will come back.
So let's see. Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chalo.
I That's okay. I'm glad that we could do this here. It's like almost putting closure to some. It's like a bad breakup. You didn't want it, but she wanted it.
Why did you have to go there? Now so I will definitely cry. Chalo. Good night and goodbye, Metaspark. We love you, Metaspark.
Yes.
Bye.
Okay. Bye bye,
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye.
Hey, one group
Bye
photo,
bye.
one group
Thank
photo,
you.
one group photo. Can
Okay.
everyone turn on their camera?
Bro, I can read lips.
जितेश भाई तो फुल सोने के मूड में है.
Oh, I see Jitesh has like new color. Sando song.
क्लोजअप पे आजा, फिल्टर लगा ले. Spark. Good
Yeah.
night.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.
Good night.
Good night.